Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we're diving into the life of Connie Young Yu, an activist, writer, and historian. She has dedicated her life to preserving Chinese American history and fighting for justice. Stay tuned to learn how her work continues to inspire change and amplify voices in the community. Connie Young Yu is a Chinese American writer, historian, and community activist known for her work in chronicling the history and experiences of Chinese Americans, particularly those who faced discrimination in the United States during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Her contributions as an author, scholar, and activist provide valuable insights into Chinese American history, immigrant experiences, and racial justice. Connie Young Yu was born in 1948 in San Francisco, California, to Chinese immigrant parents. Her family was part of the Chinese American community, which has a long and complex history in the U.S. starting in the mid-19th century. She grew up in the Bay Area, a region that has been home to a large and influential Chinese American population, particularly in Chinatown in San Francisco. Yu attended the University of California, Berkeley, where she earned a degree in history. The academic environment at Berkeley, especially during the 1960s and 1970s, was rich with political activism, civil rights movements, and a growing interest in issues of race, ethnicity, and historical memory. These influences deeply shaped her intellectual development. She later went on to pursue a master's degree in Chinese history and became involved in both academia and the Asian American community. Yu's education was complemented by her strong commitment to activism, which was rooted in her understanding of the struggles of the Chinese American community. Throughout her career, she has been a dedicated advocate for civil rights, social justice, and the recognition of the Chinese American experience in American history. In the 1970s, she was involved in the Asian American movement, which sought to address issues such as racial discrimination, underrepresentation in mainstream American culture, and the fight for political and economic equality. She was active in promoting the voices of Asian Americans in mainstream history and literature, believing that their stories were often overlooked or erased. One significant contribution of hers was her role in the campaign for the establishment of a national memorial for Chinese American veterans of World War II. This resulted in the creation of the Chinese American Veterans Memorial in San Francisco, a project to honor the service of Chinese Americans in the U.S. military. Connie Young Yu's work is primarily focused on preserving the history of Chinese Americans, especially the experiences of early immigrants, and confronting the racial prejudices they faced. She is best known for her book, Chinese American Voices, From the Gold Rush to the Present, which she co-authored with other historians. This book is a crucial compilation that highlights the narratives of Chinese Americans throughout history, documenting their contributions to American society and the challenges they faced. One of Yu's most significant achievements is her involvement in the publication of historical materials related to the Chinese American experience. Her scholarly work and writing have contributed greatly to increasing awareness of how Chinese Americans have been systematically marginalized, including through exclusionary laws such as the Chinese Exclusion Act, 1882, and other forms of racial discrimination that were prevalent in the U.S. in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In addition to her scholarly writings, Yu has also written extensively about the Chinese American civil rights movement, shedding light on the struggles and victories of Chinese American communities in their quest for equality. Her writings often focus on the intergenerational aspect of the Chinese American experience, exploring how Chinese immigrants navigated the challenges of racism, cultural assimilation, and economic hardship, while also striving to preserve their cultural identity. Yu has written numerous articles, essays, and books that document the history of the Chinese American community. Some of her key contributions include Chinese American Voices, From the Gold Rush to the Present. As mentioned, this book highlights Chinese American history, providing first-hand accounts and perspectives on the challenges faced by Chinese Americans, from the early gold rush era through to the modern period. Research on the Chinese Exclusion Act. She has been an advocate for recognizing the effects of the Chinese Exclusion Act, which was a federal law that severely restricted Chinese immigration and naturalization. She helped to shed light on the personal and collective impacts of this law on Chinese American families. Essays on Chinese American civil rights. She has contributed numerous essays to both academic and popular forums, discussing Chinese American history, racial justice, and immigrant issues in the broader context of American society. Yu also participated in oral history projects, collecting stories from Chinese American elders to preserve their experiences. These oral histories have been important resources for understanding the lived experiences of Chinese immigrants and their descendants in America, offering insight into the trials they faced and their resilience in the face of adversity. Connie Young Yu's work has had a lasting impact on the understanding of Chinese American history and the broader field of Asian American studies. Her efforts to preserve and promote the stories of Chinese Americans have ensured that their contributions to American history are not forgotten. She helped to create a stronger sense of identity within the Chinese American community, and her work has provided a powerful counter-narrative to the mainstream history that often excludes or marginalizes immigrant groups. Her writing has contributed to the growth of Chinese American studies and is widely respected in both academic and activist circles. She has been honored for her historical research, activism, and commitment to justice. Connie Young Yu's advocacy work, historical writing, and involvement in preserving the stories of Chinese Americans serve as an inspiration to those who continue to work toward a more inclusive and just society, ensuring that the voices of marginalized communities are heard and valued. Connie Young Yu is an important figure in the field of Chinese American history. Through her writings and activism, she has made significant contributions to the preservation of Chinese American history and to the fight for social justice and equality.